Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christine and this is It's Just Christine. For today's video, I'm going to be planning for the week of February 3rd to the 9th, and I'm using this beautiful kit from Sadie Stickers, and this is from her November mystery kit. This is in hollow foil. When I saw this being sneaked by everybody that is subscribed to her mystery, I knew I needed to get it. It was such a beautiful kit. It's such a beautiful concept, and I love everything about it. I definitely messaged Alicia as quick as I could, and I was like, can I please still be able to get it? It was a good thing that she still had a few kits available, so she was able to give this to me. Well, I was able to purchase it from her shop. Yeah, so if you guys are interested to see this, please stay tuned. Okay, so as much as I loved this kit, and I still really love it, actually, it's not past tense, but as much as I love it, I had such a hard time using this kit. It's not the kit's fault, technically. I had a hard time because I don't really have a lot of hollow foiled stuff in my stash. So I needed to use what was given to me in the kit. And unfortunately, the sampler, like the deco foil sampler sheet that she has included in her mystery, is not as big as what I'm used to. But that's technically my fault because I should have planned for this. I've had this kit for quite some time, and there was chance for me to purchase other things that would have gone with the kit, but I just didn't plan out as well as I should have. Anyways, for this week, I decided to do a double sidebar. And the reason I did that is because I really wanted to use these underlays from the Pretty Pink Co. I think she released this like 2 years ago, so it's a pretty old sheet, and I'm pretty sure you are not going to be able to get this anymore, unfortunately. As beautiful and as pretty as it looks, unfortunately it's just not in her shop anymore. Like I said, I did a double sidebar. I kind of regretted that I did a double sidebar only because there was a lot of things that I wanted to include in the day by day, and then at the same time, I was already kind of pressed with all the like the decos where I didn't have as many as I wanted, and then for me to decorate both sides was a little bit it was a very trying thing for me. I had a lot of trial and error, and I still think it turned out really pretty, but then again, any kit from Sadie Stickers will always look pretty. The one thing I did I was happy about is that I still had a few of like my snowflake stuff that's in my stash, so I was able to use those. And then I also had like these stars that I also had from Sadie Stickers, which I had like for years now. It's like 4 years old or 3 years old now, but I was able to use it in the spread, so it was pretty good. Since I did decide to do a double sidebar, I just wanted a simple kind of like full box. I didn't do any of those like I forgot what it's called, like when you turn it, like it's just a little bit askewed. There you go, that's the word. I didn't make it like that because I already thought that the sidebar was already going to be busy, so I just left it as is. I left it as a straight full box. You guys can see what I'm talking about. And then as usual, if I ever have one of those like washi florals, I usually put it in the top part of the planner, because I find it really really gorgeous and really pretty when there's florals up top there, or like if it's decorated properly. So I really like that kind of decoration at the top of the planner. And then I did have these garlands from Miss and Meow, so it was perfect. It looked really pretty with the kit, and definitely I was able to use it. I really, really love this kit. Even though I did have a hard time and it took me a while to kind of get the hang of like decorating things, I still like think this kit is so beautiful. Creating this spread has definitely opened my eyes to how low my stash is getting. I definitely need to take advantage of shops that's been releasing more of their foil deco and grabbing some of them for some of my other spreads, because I feel like those deco sheets, like the foil deco sampler sheets, they give you a lot more items than the separate ones. So I prefer those ones over the smaller sheets. It's also opened my eyes to the fact that I don't have a lot of hollow foils, and I do actually have two more kits. I believe two more kits that's coming my way that's going to be hollow. So I definitely need to buy more hollow foil. And for some weird reason, a lot of my kits has been a rose gold as well. I don't usually gravitate towards rose gold because it's not my go-to foil. It's actually one of my least favorite foil, if truth be told. I'm not saying like, it's like I hate it, but I'm just saying it's not something that I gravitate towards. But these past recent releases of shops, I feel like I've been choosing rose gold a lot more. I think I have like two summer kits that has rose gold in it, which is totally something different for me, because when I think of summer, I think either silver or hollow or even gold, and I barely use rose gold. So I definitely need to make sure and keep in mind that I have a lot of rose gold that I need summer stuff from as well. It doesn't hurt that I bought Sadie stickers and the Pretty Pinko's advent calendars, because their advent calendars actually has the foiled sampler sheets, and it totally helps with my stash. But it doesn't have any hollow, unfortunately, and I think it should be something that they think about next time they do their advent, and then just kind of just add on a little bit more on the total amount, but actually have an option of getting hollow as well in the advent calendar. Okay, so let's go with the day by day, because the day by day is actually going to be a little bit long since I am decorating it at the same time as planning it. Okay, so this week was the week that we were coming back home to Canada. We were in a month-long trip to the Philippines. So this week was basically our last week. On Monday, there was just a few things that we wanted to finish up in Manila, which is kind of like the downtown part of the Philippines. We had reservations at this restaurant in a hotel, so we wanted to go there early because we wanted to check out the place, because we heard the hotel was really really nice, and it was pretty nice. It wasn't really anything out of the ordinary. If you've ever been to Las Vegas, you'd know that the standard of hotels there is pretty high. So if I feel that if you've ever been to like Vegas, then nothing is really comparable to other casino hotels. So it wasn't that grandeur that I thought it was compared to other people. But the restaurant was okay. It wasn't really one that I would go back to, but we wanted to try it out, and we did. So that was that. And then on Tuesday, we kind of had a chill morning because we were going back to to the province where we've been staying the whole time we were in the Philippines. It's kind of like our base if we're not traveling to other places. And that is basically where all our other stuff was. So we kind of had to go back and start packing because our flight was on Friday. So we wanted to make sure that everything was in order and everything was it can fit in our luggage, because you can only have 2 luggage per person and the weight is supposed to be exactly like 50 pounds. If it goes over that, then you'll have to pay for over baggage fees, and over baggage fees is quite expensive. It's like almost $200 US, so that's almost like 250 to almost 275 Canadian, and that's just way too expensive for us. So we kind of had to settle down on Tuesday and just start packing everything that we could pack. And that was basically what we did on Tuesday. On Wednesday we just did more packing. And then we also had kind of like a going away dinner with my husband's family because we were staying with them and obviously we were going to miss them. So we had a little bit of a get together. It was also one of his cousin's birthdays, so we kind of had a cake for her to celebrate her birthday, which was really, really fun to do. I don't know if you guys have big families, but if there's ever any big gatherings, it's just a fun way to kind of celebrate with each other, especially if you guys genuinely like each other. So then it's even more fun that way. On Thursday we had to finish packing because Friday we were leaving in the afternoon to make sure we beat the traffic and get to the airport in a timely manner. So what we did is we just kind of chilled at home. This whole entire week was a pretty chill week because we had to make sure that our packing was in order. Packing is like very important, notoriously important when you've been out on vacation for about a month and you have gathered quite a bit of stuff from different places. So I wanted to make sure that all the packing was done before Friday. At the end of the whole, like in the afternoon, I kind of was able to finish packing. So besides your 2 luggage, you can have one hand carry. And going to the Philippines, I didn't really have a hand carry. So we actually had to go to the mall near my husband's place and buy a backpack. And funny enough, the backpack that I got was actually a backpack that I wanted. So it was kind of like a win-win situation where I got what I wanted and I was still able to use it for the traveling. Backpacks are just so much more easier than like a than a purse. So I prefer to actually have backpacks when I'm traveling. And then in the evening of Thursday, I kid you not, it's like, I don't know, like the heavens was sad that we were leaving. And there was just a downpour of rain. Like it was so much rain that we just kind of had to like sit back and relax and like chill the whole entire night. It's not like a typhoon / like monsoon type of ordeal, because Philippines is a tropical country, so they are kind of notorious for that kind of weather. But it was just a really bad thunderstorm. And then on Friday was actually the saddest day because We had to, that was when we left in the afternoon, like around 1 o'clock ish, because like I said, we had to beat the traffic, make sure that our there's not a long lineup at the airport. We have to be in the airport 4 hours before our flight, and our flight is at 8 o'clock in the evening. So we had to leave the province like around 1ish so that we can get there in time for the 4 hour mark, which we did, which was amazing. But it was really sad because a lot of my husband's family came and said bye to us. And it was really, really sad. I'm really close to his family, so it was really sad for me to like say bye to them. But at the airport, it was just a waiting game. We didn't really get to do much. If you guys have ever been to the Philippines airport, it's it's nice, but it's like a little bit small. There's not really any place where you can hang out and like walk around and do a little bit of like shopping. Duty free shop is like outside, so there isn't really any big stores in the actual airport. There is a restaurant called Little Flower, and they had really good, amazing food, which was very surprising for me. And I really loved their congee. It's kind of like rice porridge, and it was really, really good. So I really had an amazing time eating there. And it's just, they carry like comfort foods. So it was really nice to eat the congee and have the flight afterwards. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just something that's kind of like comforting for the soul right before a 16-hour flight. So that being said, it was just, it is what it is. On Saturday, we actually got to Canada. We arrived on Friday because there is that time difference. So we arrived in Canada, and we just went straight home, make sure everything was in order. And yeah, and it was really, really nice to be back home. It was amazing. Like, even though the trip was amazing, it's still always so nice to be back home. On Saturday we just did a Costco run because we wanted to buy groceries, make sure we have food to eat. And then we went to my in-laws to pick up the dogs because we left the dogs in their house for the whole entire month. And then when we got home, since we were still jet lagged, we actually went to sleep quite early. And I'm not an early sleeper, but we went to sleep at like 7:30 at night, which is really, really, really early for me. And then on Sunday was basically a chill day because we did not want to do anything right before we go back to work. Our work was like the next day, which is the Monday. And even though I was really, really, really tired, I needed to make sure that I fight the jet lag. And I was just trying to do as many things as I could. And I think filmed on that day as well. Yeah, so that was my whole entire week. It was a bittersweet week, and it was still very, very memorable. And moving forward, it's all going to be just work and life in itself. Yeah, so if you guys like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you so much. Bye.